two mistakes.
What?
What do you mean?
The big one,
This one?
yeah, we need to, if we're not gonna use it,
We need to
Just
get rid of it.
advertise it.
Yeah, we just advertise. It's a wobble stick, which they should never made. This other one is a small one with a steering
we're
wheel.
all in agreement that we shouldn't have that dangerous piece of equipment.
Yeah.
It was a mistake from the get-go.
That wasn't a mistake,
Yeah,
we
it's-
didn't lose no money.
It's what they always did have.
Right now, we're losing money, it's sitting there doing nothing.
No,
I
we're
look
not.
back on the records of it, I wanna make sure it's done right this time. A board discussion, actual, instead of somebody just going out and buying it. You know, that
We
way
didn't
can-
lose no money on that. If we'd have went out and rented a roller, we'd had more in rent than what we paid for the roller. We paid $1,000 for the roller, we used it all this time, and even if we get $700 or $800 out of it, we didn't lose no money.
That was before I was here, but I've read the records on it, and I know if you just went out and bought it, I just don't wanna repeat of that, and I don't wanna make a mistake on it.
He
We
didn't
want a
just
good
drop,
piece of equipment.
he didn't just go and buy it, me and Richard agreed
all-
to buy it. We all three agreed to buy it.
I guess you just didn't do it at the meeting.
Well, that could have been. Maybe Dan found it and we just said, get it.
Could be, probably, cause the records don't reflect anything about it.
Well, but we got it. So.
But you can't buy much for $1,000. And people
Well, obviously, we didn't get much there.
they've done us a good job for a while.
So do you want a motion to advertise that then? Bids on it,
We
get rid of
can.
it?
Let's,
I think we're all in agreement that it's not a piece of
Yeah.
equipment that we want here.
let's do. I don't know if we get more for it taking it to folks. Jump way down.
Dan just said we could get 700 or 800, what are you basing it
Well,
on?
if we could advertise it, if we could get that out of it, fine, or, I don't know what we'll get out of it.
There needs to be a bid then. We need to take bids, sealed bids, have Jenny set up a date, just like we did on the old yellow truck.
Okay, that's good.
I make a motion, we put an ad out, Jenny can form it based on how she did the yellow truck. And, let her decide what's convenient as far as deadlines and when to have the bids in by.
I'll second it.
The roll call there, Dan?
Roll call vote,
Yes.
Don?
Yeah.
And I say yes.
And then, in the meantime, you get some more, I really like the one next to it. I think we need to look at it like an investment, I don't wanna
Like a
repeat
little
what happened.
bigger one?
The one next to it, we didn't start it.
Yeah.
I
It was-
think you want $5,000 or $6,000 for it.
I have no idea, I didn't see any price tags on any of them,
Yeah.
so I don't know that. But I think we need to look at all the options.
We can go down and look, see what we think would be the best for,
If you go down, if you can meet with them,
yeah,
get them to write something up, give us the prices and the specs on them.
yeah. He'll start it, we can, he might even let us try one out, which would be good.
So if you can have that by the next meeting, we might be able to move forward with that.
Okay, so we're gonna advertise the one we got, and then go look, see what he's got, see what the price, okay.
Okay, I think that's about it, isn't it, Don?
We got another speaker there.
Does, you have anything to say, Ken, or?
No, I'm just yours. If you guys got anything for me, I just making rounds.
Okay. Well, we're, ready for public comment.
Why didn't we sell that thing when junk was about $400? When Jeff didn't want to, now he wants to give it away. He's talking about how much money we're gonna lose. in
Just
sales.
for a clarification, I'd like to do my own speaking, not have somebody else assume and do it for me.
I'm asking, why didn't you wanna sell it when we got money out of it?
Nobody said I didn't wanna sell it.
You said right there, it's on record. You said at one time I wanted pickup, we didn't have time to get
I'll
it.
speak for myself, it's your time, but don't speak for me.
He said public comment, I'm asking you. Why don't you answer me?
You've got 5 minutes for your public comment.
Well, if you're not gonna answer me, I might as well talk to that dummy, I might could talk to that wall.
Go ahead.
I'd like to make a comment back about this big story about myself, Will Kern, with the letter that I sent to you, the board, and to Ken Oswald, the prosecutor, about me stopping the township from patching potholes and doing work on public roadways, which is completely false. My point was, and I videotaped the whole dumping incident of the limestone at the end of Cooper Ryder Road, is that we should have never had to talk about this Cooper Ryder Road turnaround issue had the trustees acted back in 1995 and followed the process. They didn't. Continuously, the trustee Watkins continuously says they did an improvement. They did a turnaround down there. Well, problem with that is it was never officially done properly. And it was only done to the south side. There was nothing done to the north. I did a driveway to the north side. So the public roadway is 12 foot wide originally, and this still is. Now, mind you, we have more land adopted that the county went ahead and did on their own. They took action on their own and adopted additional 90 feet of property to the south side. That doesn't mean that you can take private property and convert it over for public use and expand a roadway. My interpretation of Higher Revised Code, I've read it a bunch of different times and asked different people for opinions. There's a specific step that you take to acquire property, and then you improve the roadway. And that's what I'm talking about. You guys, you've admitted repeatedly that you've improved the roadway basically by making a turnaround, by even making a cul-de-sac. All I'm saying is follow the process that the statute tells you to do. And I'm not talking about fixing a hole. I realized there was a little area down there where there was some water. I have no problem with that. But what I saw was a truck, a big truck, turning a big circle and dumping limestone. I have a videotape of it. So I'm saying, wait a minute now, what are we doing here? Filling potholes, or are we making a bigger turnaround? And I've got a videotape before and after, even close up, showing that we're making a big circle. We're not talking about fixing a pothole. So I want to get that straight. There's nothing in the Higher Revised Code that says the township can't go out there and fix potholes. That's their whole job, to fix the roads. But you can't improve and widen and expand a road on your own without coming to the board and making some kind of a resolution to that effect. And I don't know how many times I've had to bring this up. It just never seems to sink in. You know, I'm not asking you guys to do anything other than what the statute tells you to do. So that's my point. I'm not trying to stop you from doing anything that you really need to do, like vegetation removal. You brought up the issue of culverts and this and that. I have nothing with, there's nothing ever been brought up about that. It's just a matter of this issue with the cul-de-sac, which has taken up an enormous amount of time, energy, and money on a bunch of people's parts, and it should have never had to have gotten that way. What really ticks me off about the whole process is I spent thousands of dollars and weeks of my time making the T on the north side. And had I known about this, had somebody told me about this in early 2000, I could have gone after the landowner that had it before me and actually got some money back for them, because they never passed that on to me. So, you know, you kind of put me in a position where I spent money and then you beat me up for all these stolen rocks and damaging government property and all that, when the roadway was only 12 foot wide. And for me putting a personal driveway in, that's kind of ridiculous. So anyway, that's my public comments.
Okay, in rebuttal, Richard Wright, who's a judge now, he was an attorney then, me and Dan, you come to us, actually you called Richard Wright first and asked him, because you didn't like me, if he would put you a turnaround in. And we all come out and look, and we said, sure, you know, anything to help, we'll do it. So we did. We come out, we cut the clay off, we cut her down, the topsoil,